It's time for our city to turn a new page.
Because this mayor sold us out.
I'm Ossé.
I'm Zohran Mamdani.
And I represent New York City Council District 36.
Several months later.
Let me talk about Jeffries for a moment, who now may face a challenge from Ossé, who is a member of the DSA. You said that there are local issues that Mr. Ossé should be focused on, maybe should remain a councilman. Are you saying he should not run against Jeffries?
No, I'm saying that I think the focus should be right here on New York City. I respect the work that Councilmember Ossé has done in the council.
But what does that mean? Should he not run?
I think that right now is not the time to be engaging in that kind of a primary.
I do not wish progressives any luck in elections. I'm terrified for the reign of Zohran Mamdani here in New York. It has emboldened people like AOC. The most interesting thing is watching her triangulate on whether or not one of her fellow progressives should primary Jeffries, because now she has to be a little bit more of a mainstream Democrat if she wants to run for president in 2028. That means she cannot serve Democrat leadership, especially if the guy who's going to primary him will probably lose and Jeffries will stay exactly where she is. I don't think that there is a way to reprogram a progressive. I think, unfortunately, that it is an orthodoxy and a mental virus that takes over any rational component of a person's executive function. Therefore, she cannot be.
Yes, there is a certain type of civil war erupting in the Democrat Party. I don't know if you've seen this. Extremely concerning. Get your popcorn as we are about to see what exactly is going on. For days now, I've been reporting about these people and something is going on. Mamdani will be in the White House.
NYC DSA members, this can only be done and only be tried in partnership with you. And we must try. The national leader of the Democratic Party could be anywhere in America. And by some random chance, it's a man whose millions from AIPAC become billions, and he's right here in Brooklyn. I believe we have an obligation of circumstance. It could be by anyone, anywhere, but it's us here. Over $150,000 and 1,000 volunteers are pre-pledged. This would grow capacity, not strain it. And this will grow black socialism and strengthen the movement for the sake of our neighborhoods and the millions overseas who we will never meet. I'm asking you to vote yes. We have to try.
Yesterday, top Democrat Jeffries got a primary challenger in popular city council member Ossé. This is big, with potential repercussions for the orientation of the entire Democratic Party. Not to mention, also impacts moving Zohran's agenda forward in 2026. And a major test that everyone is looking at right now is, will the New York City DSA Zohran's foundational endorsement back Xi? I've been organizing in these spaces for years. Here's me congratulating Zohran on getting his endorsement from New York City DSA in 2024. Let me give you more of an insider perspective of what's going on. Jeffries has been the minority speaker replacing Pelosi in 2023. With a decade of time in Congress, he has middling favorability nationally, but is well-liked within his own district. Xi is a fresh city council member elected in 2022 and has outsized popularity due to his effective use of short-form videos. His key piece of legislation is the FAIR Act, major renter-friendly legislation that prevents landlords from unfairly charging brokers' fees. Xi is hoping to primary Jeffries in New York Congressional District 8, which Zohran won in the primary with 55% of the vote to Cuomo's 44% of the vote. But first, Xi is hoping to win New York City DSA's endorsement, which is run by members, rank and file members. One member, one vote, real democracy.
Yes, a little background on what exactly is going on in the Democrat Party. This guy you saw want to primary Jeffries. We have seen a lot of people in the Democrat Party calling that this guy should be removed. At a certain point, something surprising is happening. Mamdani and AIC, they are the same people. This guy campaigned for AIC, and we saw the role AIC play with Mamdani elections. When I realized that these people were just the same, now along the way, Mamdani and AIC don't want this guy to primary Jeffrey. Libras are freaking out on social media. They are not happy about that decision. From the look of things, if these two people could stand up to primary Jeffrey, he has a high probability to win. That's something I saw because they are the same people. But along the way,
Is this your train?
Yeah, let's go.
This city is the world's greatest experiment in human cooperation.
And there are those who want to tear it down and sell it out. Trump from the outside, affordability crisis from the inside.
How many more people could thrive with more affordable housing, world-class transit, and universal childcare?
Absolutely, man. They don't want people to believe they can ask for more, so we have to demand more.
Do you know Andrew Cuomo cut Medicaid?
Yeah, and he stole money from the MTA to subsidize upstate ski resorts.
Jesus Christ. I love this city. I just want it to be better.
With all New York has going for it, I just can't help but ask, why is shit not working? It's time to make New York work for everyone.
You know it.
Yes!
You're running for office.
Yeah, I'm running for mayor.
I'm running with you, brother. In this political moment, we need someone with the energy to stand up to Donald Trump, with an inspirational vision of the most our city can be. And that's why I'm endorsing Zohran Mamdani for mayor.
You can't hand New York City over to a dangerous grifter like Andrew Cuomo. Election day is on June 24th, and early voting starts on June 14th.
So, what'd you get?
Spicy chicken sandwich. They didn't have none.
Neither party's official platform, in my opinion, is good. Doesn't mean that they're the same. I think that a Donald Trump presidency would be absolutely catastrophic. I mean, he's coming out here saying, finish the job side.
There's a lot of people with our politics that are having a hard time getting there in terms of supporting Kamala Harris.
I think about the women that are bleeding out in ER rooms because they live in red states. I think about trans kids that are living in places where their entire families are trying to figure out if they need to pack up their entire lives and move somewhere else. We have to hold all of those things at once. And so to me, the conclusion that I've come to is having more people suffer to put on top of the already horrific suffering that is not something that I think I'm...
Yes, I believe you've seen the two videos where this guy is rallying behind these two, supporting them for their elections. Now, suddenly, these two don't want to support him to defeat Hakeem Jeffries. They are melting down, crying everywhere on social media like it is even too early to see this.
Fuck with her and Bernie Sanders fight the oligarchy tour that happened recently when everybody else was fawning all over it. Because it's very easy to say, fight the oligarchy, stand up to the establishment, when it's vague and faceless and nameless. But then when somebody takes your advice and says, you know, I'm gonna primary the guy who is completely funded and controlled by Wall Street and AIPAC, you go, oh, did I say fight the oligarchy? I didn't mean ours. Similar to what Bernie said when he was asked about Chuck Schumer's disastrous handling of the government. It's like, well, I'm not going to call for him to step down, but make sure you stand up to the establishment. Okay, so you guys want to tell people to stand up to the establishment, but then when they do in your own party, you're like, what? He didn't mean like that. Which is particularly galling because we all know that AOC has her seat because she challenged an incumbent in leadership. And remember, this is the same AOC that tried to gaslight all of us and tell us that Joe Biden was the best person to run for re-election, that he was fine. This is just the newest example of why I don't trust her. Nail in the coffin for trust. She and Bernie are hypocrites, but I already dealt with Bernie in the other video. She is a hypocrite because not only, as I said, did she get her seat in the first place by challenging an incumbent, but what I also need everybody to understand is that it's in moments like this that you realize how unserious they are about change.
Reported that council member Ossé, who I just found out earlier this year, that he's actually Combat Jack's son. I didn't know that. I should have known off the last name. But anyways, it has been reported that he has filed the necessary paperwork or filings to primary Congressman Hakeem Jeffries. Now, if you know Ossé, he's very active on social media. A lot of people like him. He campaigned heavy for Zohran Mamdani. And I think he identifies as a democratic socialist as well. Very progressive. The whole country has been watching minority leader of the House, Hakeem Jeffries, in the midst of this new Trump administration era. And I think it's pretty fair to say that not only Democrats, but Americans have been highly disappointed with the performance and behavior of Congressman Hakeem Jeffries.
About fast and free buses and your meeting with the governor. I've heard you talk about many times that you don't want to take money away from the MTA. You want to put money back in. It's something that she agrees with, right? We don't want to take away money from the MTA. How are you getting that money, the $700 million to make the buses free, into the MTA if she's not for raising taxes?
You know, I think that the two clearest ways to raise that money is through the raising of the state's corporate tax to match that of New Jersey. I think that a lot of this is still a case to be made. Whether it's the corporate tax or whether it's the personal income tax on those who make more than $1 million a year or more, I think that these are the clearest ways. I've also said that if there are other ways to raise this funding, the most important fact is that we fund it, not...
They have been fooled for a very long time. Even the guy who stood up for them is now being betrayed they cannot rally behind him. That should tell you a lot about these Democrats. Look at their base, what they are saying. That should tell you a lot. I saw this meltdown everywhere. I think I'm going to do another segment so you can see exactly what is going on in the Democrat Party. They have actually put out a lot of videos exposing themselves, like AIC Mamdani. I thought Mamdani will actually have the balls to primary Hakeem Jeffries, but things have changed. Even his tone on Trump has changed.
I will be heading to Washington, D.C. tomorrow to meet with President Trump in the White House. It is customary for an incoming mayor of this city to meet with the White House, given the mutual reliance.
What do we do? What are we going to do? How do you stop this?
I came here tonight, Jimmy, to tell you and your audience that I'm running to be the next governor of California.
Thing that is only continued.
I want to appreciate people supporting me, sharing out my videos. God bless you abundantly. As of the short clips, that is for the YT algorithm. They hardly recommend videos on this channel.
19. And by extension,
it voted over.
That was my first instant to have more Republicans on the show, but they don't want to come on. They're scared of us.
It's history.
Point when I say I'm not going to be a
JD Vance should be the next president of the United States. If you want to serve in the American
give interviews, I don't do that.
JD Vance
At the moment.
Yeah.
President Obama is blatant censorship.
because he says he has a team of fact checkers.
The FCC want them to stop fooling around with my right to say what I feel.
Well, Americans, it's a part of who we are.
Because that is really something that didn't happen before.
Does anybody else watch The View? Because I think there's...
I'm going to say one. Look, there are certain rules of free speech that we must all abide by. But in case anyone needs a refresher.
All the same people that are in these polite...
disagree with what Gavin Newsom said, that he doesn't...
I mentioned last night Trump was bragging about how many were surprised to see Darth Renner.
Between...
It's for you.
Did Mamdani say in his acceptance speech in New York? He said there is...
Mamdani! Dios me libre! Oh my God! This is comunista!
These people are easily convinced.
I think the Democrats are still a mess.
And frankly, he could do a master class for all Democrats.
Do with the midterm.
Taught us.
I was expecting Democrats to win. Supported by the Democrats, they run California. Read it, Virginia.
I mean, Trump haters wait.
Be moving to New York City. If you're a